Alright, Shalom, Shalom. I'm gonna title this, Why the Lord Don't Answer You Wicked Israelites. You wicked blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Ba'Shem HaKadosh, and double blessings and honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. And I'm going to start off with the book, Deuteronomy 32 and 9. For the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. He find him in a desert land and in the waste, howling wilderness. He led him about, he instructed him, he kept him as the apple of his eye. And that's the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. As an eagle stir up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, take them, beareth them on her wings. So the Lord, how thy power, I know to lead him, and there was no strange God with him. He made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the field. He made him suck the honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock, butter of kine and milk, sheep with fat of lambs, and rams of bread and of Bashan, and goats with the fat kidneys of wheat, and thou did drink the pure blood of the grape. But Jeshurun, that word Jeshurun, meaning the upright ones, named for Israel, describing her ideal character, which is us, Israel. Yeshurun. But Jeshurun waxed fat and caked. Though are waxing fat, though are grown thick, though are covered with fatness, then he forsook Yahweh, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abomination. Provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to Yahweh, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Of the rock that begat thee, thou art unmindful and hast forgotten Yahweh that formed thee. And when the Lord saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are a forward generation, children of him in whom is no faith. And they have moved me to jealousy with that which is not Yahweh. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people, and I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. And those wicked Israelites, they forsook Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai's power, and they served other gods, like Caesar Boucher. They committed adultery. They went back to the wicked ways, even though they had all these great riches, and Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai was their salvation. They still went back, and that's why the Lord, he hides his face from you wicked Israelites. And I'm going to go into the book of Jeremiah 8 and 5. Why then is this people of Jerusalem sliding back by perpetual backsliding? They hold fast deceit, they refuse to return. I hearkened and heard, but they spake not aright. No man repented him of his wickedness, saying, What have I done? everyone turned to his course as the horse rushed into the battle. And these these Israelites, they didn't listen to the Lord, so they still went back to the wickedness. They rushed upon their wickedness and forsake the Lord, just like that. And I'm going on in verse 7. Yeah, the stork in heaven knoweth her appointed times, and the turtle, and the crane, and the swallow observe the time of their coming. But my people know not the judgment of the Lord. And these Israelites, these wicked Israelites, they don't know the Lord's judgment. And I'm going to go into the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah 2 and 22. For though thou wash thee with nitre and take thee much soap, yet thy iniquity is marked before me, saith the Lord, Yahweh. And these Israelites, they can look pure all they want, they can look clean, they can look innocent all they want, but their inner man, their true intentions in their mind, is still not clean. How can thou say, I am not polluted, have not gone after Baal? See thy way in the belly, know what thou hast done. Thou art a swift tormdary, traversing her ways. And going on in verse 24, a wild ass used to the wilderness that snuffeth up the wind at her pleasure and her occasion. Who can turn her away? All that seek her will not weary themselves, and in her month they shall find her. And in a wild ass, they're very strong. No one's gonna go ahead and try to pull back a wild ass back home. No one's gonna do that, because it's gonna it's tiresome. You're gonna be tired of it. You're gonna be tired to the point where we be like, let me just leave this ass. Let me just leave this donkey, this wild donkey, because it's not following my path. Why would I want to waste my time of trying to pull back a wild donkey who doesn't want to get right? And that's what the Lord is saying. And let's see. I'm gonna go into Hosea 4:1. Yahweh's controversy with Israel. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord, Yahweh thy power, had a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of Yahweh B'Shem Ashai in the land. And that word controversy meaning a dispute, strife, a quarrel, a dispute, Rayab in the Hebrew. A complaint, to contend against. That's what it means. And on verse 2, by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood touches blood. Therefore shall the land mourn, and every one that dwelleth therein shall languish, with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of the heaven. Yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. Yet let no man strive nor reprove others, for thy people are as they that strive with the priest. Therefore those shall fall in the day, and the prophet also shall fall with thee, in the night, and I will destroy my mother from my people, or destroy for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. And, you Israelites, you wicked Israelites, you can't blame those Christians for your wrongdoings, because you're following after those false prophets, those false teachers, and you're still committing adultery. You're still killing, stealing, and you do all this wickedness and still not changing. And on Hosea 4:6, saying, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, and thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten thy law of thy God Yahweh, Ba'ashem El Shai. I will also forget thy children. And that right there, that's why the Lord, He don't answer to you, wicked Israelites, because you forgot. You reject knowledge, you rejected the law, and so the Lord rejected you. That's why He don't help you, because you're not turning back from your ways. You're not calling upon the true names of the Lord, of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And that's all to it, to this lesson. And in closing, I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh, and Shalom.